I'm going to demo one of my favorite production tricks that's really, really easy to use in the songwriting process to add significant amounts of impact to like your drop or your chorus. As I say, this is insanely simple. All it is if I hit play, this is my intro here. I want you to pay attention to this EQ. I've opened it up on purpose here. You see, all of my information is in a certain band. This is just some mids, and then I gradually introduce a bit more here, but I'm purposely keeping this really, really restricted, and the reason being, when the drop hits, we bring in like bass, low mids, everything like that, and suddenly you have something that's a bit more full spectrum. Now this track in particular is very lo-fi, so there's not a lot going on in the tops, it's pretty chilled out, but still, if we go back to our intro, we only have from here to here really. There's nothing for your tops, nothing for your low mids, bass, anything like that, and we just bring it in later, and it's a good way to add a lot of impact that way. This is a project I've literally made in like the past 15 minutes, but I think the drop already has a good amount of impact before we even added like effects. Like you see, there's no crash layer, there's no downlift or anything like that that would exist in a more final mix, but it still has impact. And a secondary trick that I also do, and I did it in this project as well, usually right before the drop, so right over here, instead of just having this play out where it's doing all the chords and stuff and letting the drums go too, I instead opted to cut them, and I just play that one little note from this little sine wave melody. So if I listen to that on its own, we have this kind of going on, and it cuts to just that. The cut's actually not perfect, I've just noticed that now. Let's fix it a little bit, like this. Much better. And then our drop comes in here, and it sounds really good now. This is a really useful trick to keep in mind really with any song you make, because this is very easy to do. All I've done is kind of on my piano layer here, which is this one, insert 4, I've added an EQ that's doing this. It's brick wall cuts here and here, and I'm also just taming a bit in that region. And I'm just automating this off when the drop happens. You could also, instead, to make it a little bit better, automate this open over time to introduce it gradually. That would sound a little bit like this. That's really nice. And then now, of course, this is off. If you found this useful, drop a like, subscribe for more. Thank you for watching.